Hi, Hugh Jones here, aka Fox Control, and today I've come into Muso's Corner to have a look at Fender's Noventa guitar series. The Noventa guitars are a limited edition series made in Mexico. A lot of Fender electric guitars were originally designed as the working man's guitar, and this series definitely adheres to that ethos. All of the guitars in this series have those classic Fender stylings, the Jazzmaster, Stratocaster or a Telecaster. The main thing that sets these guitars apart is that each one has a different combination of P90 pickups. The P90 pickup is a single coil pickup and tends to have a little bit more of a darker tone than your conventional single coil pickup. This tone makes your pickup selection really quite versatile in the guitar, from smoother, jazzier tones to thicker rock sounds. The P90 is a great all-rounder. Fender build these guitars as stripped-down rock machines, but to me that really translates as a no-fuss, no-muss guitar. You've got minimal moving parts on this guitar. The pickup selection and the electronics are really straightforward in these instruments, and they're just ready to get into your hands and start playing, whether it's performing or at home. I think these are really quite a beautiful instrument. The necks on these guitars come finished in a satin urethane, and they also have a modern C-shaped profile, which makes them really easy on your hands, quite simple to grab a hold of and fast to run around on. The frets that come loaded on the necks of these guitars are a medium jumbo fret, so they're quite high and quite narrow. You'll get lots of life out of them and lots of precision on your intonation. And finally, the neck sports a classic Fender maple fretboard. The guitar that I have in my hands right now is the Fender Noventa series Jazzmaster. Even though this instrument is classified as a stripped-down rock machine, it still comes loaded with that classic Jazzmaster trem. Each guitar in these series comes in a range of classic Fender colours. The one I have in my hand is the Fiesta Red, and I just think it's gorgeous. One advantage of the Noventa series guitars is that they're simple enough to allow a player to focus on their own style. So it's about the player's individual take and what they can get from the instrument rather than the features that are built into it. To go with the classic nature of this guitar, I'm running through a tube screamer into a Bass King amplifier. The Jazzmaster has the most pickup selections with this 5-way switch, so let's start on the neck. All of these pickup selections are really usable depending on your setting and where you're playing, who you're playing with. Let's check out this guitar with the clean tone, starting with the neck selection. Out of all of the guitars in the Noventa series, this Telecaster is probably the simplest. With one single coil on the bridge, a volume and a tone dial, there's heaps of sounds in this guitar while also not getting hung up on pickup selections. The neck on this guitar is a modern C-shaped profile with a satin urethane finish, has that classic Fender maple fretboard loaded with medium jumbo frets. And once again, the simplicity of this guitar makes it all about the player. I'm just going to have a play with the tone dial. Let's hear this guitar with the clean tone. Let's roll off the tone dial and see how it sounds. This guitar really sounds like no other Stratocaster with the two P90s. The two P90s are a lot darker and a lot fuller and meatier than your classic 3 single coil setup on a Stratocaster. What I've found on this instrument is that the neck pickup has a really dark and mellow tone, and then your bridge pickup has this really meaty rock tone, and then the distance between the two pickups when you engage the middle selection on your pickup selector just gives you a whole other sound. It's not a Les Paul, it's not a Tele, but it's somewhere in that ballpark. Again, this guitar is simple enough to focus on the player's sound and the player's musical ideas. So in summary, Fender's Noventa series guitars are a really great instrument. Great for a professional, great for someone playing at home, could be a great first instrument, could be a great instrument that you keep on your couch that you can just pick up and play at any time. They come in classic colors and in classic Fender shapes, and the thing that really sets these guitars apart is the configuration of P90 pickups. Click below to find loads more information on these guitars. Thanks for watching. I'm Hugh. Happy music making. Catch you later.